give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High YAHUAH, YAHUSHA HaMashiach, our Master, King, and Savior. We get John chapter 5, verse 39. John 5 and 39. And it says, search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me, that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. See, the love of y'all don't reside in everybody. So let me tell you something since I said this here. Psalms 97 and 10. Since Brother Sean mentioned that there, hold on, let me make sure that's what it is. That's Psalm 8. Yeah, it is. Psalm 97:10. I will write the first time. But make it about verse 4. Make it about verse 4. Psalm 97:4. Listen what he tell you. His lightnings enlightened the world. The earth saw and trembled. Y'all remember when he seen some lightning and the earth trembled? In the Torah. Remember when he came down on the mountain? Earth shake. You know what I'm saying? They seen the lightnings. All the people trembled. They were terrified, wasn't it? Let's hold it Exodus chapter 20. Let's see why he did that. Hold this Psalm 97. Look at Exodus chapter 20. Let's see why he did that. And 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. So when we come back to the Elohim of Psalm 97, he see the world saw these lightnings and trembled. You know what's going to come to our mind for that? See, let's look at Matthew chapter 27. Let's see what comes to mind for that. Matthew 27, about verse 46. So obviously, you got to know Mashiach came down from Shamayim, right? And since he came down from Shamayim, that means he had to bring lightnings with him, called the earth to tremble. And we know he called it to go dark, right? Clouds and light, because he the light that's up there in the clouds. So, and where the lightning come from? Out of clouds. So we look in verse 45. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my Elohim, why hast thou forsaken me? Some of them stood there when they heard this and said, this man called for Elijah. And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar and put it on a reed and gave him to drink. But we're going to drop down. I can't see what the verse is. There you go. I want to say about verse 50, 53 or 54. It says, 54 say, now the centurion. It says, now the centurion and they that were watching Yahushua saw the earthquake and those things that were done, and they feared greatly, saying, truly, this was the son of Elohim. So when they sat back and they seen the lightning, they trembled. And why did they all tremble? That the fear of Yah might be before them, that they sin not. He came to prove you. When you seen the sun and you take this on, this was to prove whether you were going to sin or not. So now let's go look at Romans chapter 6. Romans 6 and 6. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. Knowing that Egypt was destroyed, that we should no longer serve sin. He smashed it. Did he? That's what he did. He said, for he that is dead is freed from sin. Now if we be dead with Mashiach, we believe that we shall also live with him, knowing that Mashiach, being raised from the dead, died no more. Death have no more dominion over him. Hold this, Psalms 119 and about 130. Still hold Psalm 97. Listen to what he tell you. He said, the entrance of thy words give light. It give understanding unto the simple. He said, the entrance of his words give light. So you sitting back looking at when this man word, we read this last night, he said, receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your souls. When this man word enters into you, that's able to give you life. He told you that in John chapter 6, verse 63. The words that he said, the flesh profit nothing. It's the ruach that make alive. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So when you actually allow this man words to enter into you, this is going to give you eternal life. Hold this right here, because something else comes to my mind. Hebrews chapter 2. The people I want to hear, they ain't here. You know what that means? They ain't supposed to hear. You know what I'm talking about? And he ain't supposed to hear, that means hell waiting on you. 2 and 1. Hebrews 2 and 1. Niggas got to go where they got to go. Let them burn. I look at it. Therefore we ought, he said, therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip. Because it say that, so if the man's words ain't getting interest, then guess what that's going to leave you with then? If the interest of his word give light and they ain't gaining interest, then guess what that leave you at? Darkness. Darkness. Since I said that, 1 John chapter 1, verse 5. This then is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you that Elohim is light and in him is no darkness at all. If we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not the truth. If you're going to sit back and say you've been dipped in the likeness of this man death and you walk in darkness, you are a liar. You are not of the truth. That's what we got to look at. He said, if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, his son, cleanse us from all sin. That means we're going to have to walk in that word. That means that word going to have to gain interest. He said it gives understanding to the simple. That means when you ain't know the son, he came through to give you understanding that you might know him. Come on back to Tehillim 119 now. We're in verse 131. Listen to this right here. He said, I opened my mouth and panted, for I long for thy commandment. Then you sit back and see Mashiach said, I thirst. You only pant when you're thirsty. So guess what that means when he's sitting up there panting? He said, I opened my mouth and panted. He opened his mouth and said, I thirst. I panted. He said, I didn't want no water, no vinegar from you. What I was longing for was that word, that living water. That's why he said, every man that thirsts, let him come unto me and drink. You know what I'm saying?
And that in like Psalms 43 or 44.
I can't recall off the top of my head. Probably so. I know Jeremiah told him. He said, open thy mouth wide and I'll fill it. You know what I'm saying? You turn around and look at it, you're supposed to be panting for that. You're supposed to be thirsty for that. You know what I'm talking about? That's supposed to be you. He said, you drink of this water, you'll be thirsty again. He said, whosoever drink of this will never thirst. You finding yourself with a dry throat, that's because you're dead. Verse 132. He said, look thou upon me and be merciful unto me, as thou used to do unto those that love thy name. Order my steps in thy word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. So he's asking, let my steps be ordered in thy word. Meaning, let me follow in the steps of Hamashiach. Take up your stake and follow me. When my steps are ordered in your word, there will have no sin over me, because you have been crucified with him. Therefore, iniquity will not have dominion over you. Come on back to what I'm trying to see. Verse 9. You know what I'm saying? Say, knowing that a Mashiach being raised from the dead died no more, death have no more dominion over him. For in that he died under sin once. But in that he lived under Elohim. Likewise reckon ye also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin, but alive unto Elohim through Yahushua HaMashiach. Let not sin reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it in the lust thereof. If you done did that, that means your steps should be ordered in Mashiach. Hello? Hello? Shalom. Your steps should be ordered in Mashiach. You know what I'm saying? Which means death wouldn't have no dominion over you. Meaning sin ain't got no dominion over you. You already know Paul said in Romans 8:1, there's no condemnation that them that walk in Yahushua HaMashiach. You know what I'm saying? If your steps are ordered in him, how you going to have any condemnation over you? You're supposed to be a new creature. Old things are passed away. You're supposed to be created in him in righteousness and true Kadesh. No longer walking according to the former behavior of the deceitful lust of the world and of the flesh. But if you're not doing that, that means you're not dead. That means you just went and got wet. You know what I'm saying? You could have went swimming on your own time. You know what I'm saying? We ain't come out here to swim. He say, he that believeth in his mirth shall be saved, but he that believe not shall be damned. How you going to sit back? If you went and did that, you don't believe this man died for you. You can't believe it. It's impossible. Come on back to Psalm 97. Man, we got to do better. We got to look better. You know what I'm saying? We got to feel better. And instead of sitting back here and getting discouraged, just sit back and look at, well, I got to get it together. This is what, because basically what I'm saying is this is what you're telling your power. I don't believe you died for me. I don't believe that you did this for me. This is what you're telling him. You got to sit back and look at, that's not what you want to tell him. Everybody scream, act, and speak louder the words until you go to serving y'all. Then it don't count then. You know what I'm saying? We look at verse 5, right? Psalms 97. Say the hills melted like wax at the presence of Yahuwah, at the presence of the master of the whole earth. Say the Shamahim declares righteousness. All the people see his esteem. They seen him up there. Right up there on that state. Shamahim declared the righteousness, declared the faith. All of them seen it because you said truly this man is the son of Allah. He said it, didn't he? He said, confounded be all they that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols. Worship him, all ye gods. Zion heard and was glad. The daughters of Yehudah rejoiced because of thy judgments, O Yahuwah. For thou, Yahuwah, art high above all the earth. Thou art exalted far above all gods. He said he gave him a name above all names. That he would be highly exalted. That the name of Yahushua, that every knee should bow and every tongue should confess. He's high above all the earth when he was up there on the stage. Who was higher than him? Nobody. What you think gonna happen to you if you dwell in it? You're gonna be higher than them. Because you're going to be dwelling with the Son. Why do you think the man say when he come back, you're going to meet him where? In the air. Because he's high above the earth. That's why he say set your affections on the things that be in Shamahim and not the things on the rest. But what do we end up doing? Our God be our belly. We desire earthly things. He say who end is to be day. Say verse 10. He say ye that love Yahuwah hate evil. Telahim 45 and 7 tell you that. He's an Elohim who hateth iniquity and love righteousness. If you love God, you should hate all manner of sin. We just looked at that last week when we were looking at Lot. He said his spirit was vexed by the evil deeds and the unlawful deeds of all the people that was around him. It made him angry. These niggas around here kissing boys. These niggas around here fornicating. These niggas around here committing adultery. It just makes me sick. He said he preserved the soul of his Kadashim. He delivered them out of the hand of the wicked. You done already seen that. See, hold on. Hold Psalm 97. Look at Rome. Look at Isaiah chapter 7 about verse 4.
Isaiah what?
7 and 14. He said those that love Yah hate the evil. Love Yah, they hate evil, right? Let me show you something. Therefore the master himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son and shall call his name Emmanuel. Butter and honey shall he eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good. That means he already sitting back telling you the virgin going to hate evil and love Yahuwah. Because he love Yahuwah, he going to hate evil, he going to refuse it. He's going to refuse it. Look at 1 Peter 3 and 17. Say, for it is better if the will of Elohim be so that you suffer for well-doing than for evil-doing. For Mashiach also have once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he must bring us to Elohim, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Ruach. We supposed to look at when we got immersed, you were put to death in the flesh, was supposed to be made alive by the Ruach. Why was he able to do that? The son was able, because he hated evil. He said, John 15 and 10. I'll just read it. 15 and 9. So if we're going to turn around and look at it, we're supposed to hate evil and love good. Get your Amos 5 and 13, go along with it.
It,
15 and 9. John 15 and 9. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. Why did he abide in his love? Because he refused the evil. He hated evil. Because he loved Yah, he refused evil. He hated evil. He abstained from sin. You know the next thing he said? He preserved the soul of his Kadashim, right? So you already know what he did for Mashiach. Didn't he preserve it? He rose him from the dead. Kadashim is a sanctified one. Look at John 17 and 17. John 17 and 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. So because he loved Yah, and he loved Yah, he hated evil, therefore he refused it. He refused it. You understand what I'm telling you? So when he refused it, this would allow something to happen. John 16 and 30. Yahushua answered them, now we are sure that thou know all things, and need not that any man should ask thee. By this we believe that thou come forth from Elohim. Yahushua answered them, do you now believe? Behold, the hour come, yea, is now come, that ye shall be scattered every man to his own, and shall leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me you might have shalom. In the world you shall have tribulation. Be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. See, now you know how he overcame the world? He overcame the world because he refused sin. That's why you say you are more than conquerors through him that loved you. So then we got to sit back and look at that. We got to sit back and acknowledge that. That if we love Yah, we're going to hate that evil. We're going to refuse it. We're going to refuse it. We're going to abstain from it. We're going to release it. You know what I'm talking about? Then because we release it, then guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? Our soul can be preserved. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, since I said that, 1 Corinthians chapter 3. And 15. Three and 15. And it says, if any man's work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Mashiach suffered loss, he lost his life. But in the end he was saved because he preserved his soul. Know ye not that ye are the temple of Elohim, and that the spirit or the Ruach of Elohim dwell in you? If any man defile the temple of Elohim, him shall Elohim destroy, for the temple of Elohim is Kadesh, which temple ye are. So you just sit back and look at it. He said that fire or that burning of affliction, that will preserve your soul. This is what a Mashiach came to do. He said he will preserve the soul of his Kadeshim. His sanctified ones I will preserve. That's why he said, I set myself apart by the truth that you might do it. So then we got to sit back and look at what are we doing? Where are we going? What are we actually seeking after? What is it is our actual desire? What is our actual desire? What are we actually seeking after? You know what I'm saying? Because it's real easy to say you want to be saved. Go to Luke 17 and 30. I know I said Amos 5 and 13. We'll get that too in a second. We'll get something in 2 Timothy chapter 4. But Luke 17 and 30. Make it 20. Make it 26. Luke 17 and 26. And it was so in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the son of Adam, that they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given into marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also it was as it was in the days of Lot. They did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from Shamahim and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the son of Adam is revealed. And that day he which shall be upon the housetop, and the stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that's in the field, let him likewise not return back. Because you already know that go to when you left out of Mizraim, he told you don't go back and get nothing. You had to leave what you came there with. Because he's going to provide everything sufficient for you. But you know what he sit back telling you with? People be looking back. You looking back to what you want, what you desire, what you got. That's what you're looking at. You're going to lose your life behind that. If you're going to come after the son, you got to leave stuff behind. You got to leave that baggage behind. He said that day, remember Lot's wife. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. See, when you hate evil and love Yah, you're going to actually lose your life to preserve the soul of his Kadeshim. You try to save your life, that means you love evil, you hate Yah, and you're not going to preserve your soul. He's going to destroy you. 2 Timothy 4. About verse 17. See, notwithstanding, the master stood with me and strengthened me. Same way how Malachi stood by Mashiach and strengthened him, right? That by me the preaching might be fully known. Just like he came out there and preached everything. But Mashiach did the same thing, right? And that all the Gentiles might hear as I was delivered out of the mouth of the lion. And the master shall deliver me from every evil work, and will preserve me unto his kingdom of Shamahim, to whom be esteemed forever and ever, so be it. This is how he know this. He going to preserve me. Why? Because I hate evil and love Yahuwah. He'll preserve me. He'll deliver me out of the mouth of anything. That's what he did for Mashiach. He delivered him from that. We don't look at it. We don't think about what we actually doing, what we actually getting ourselves into. Come on back to Psalm 97. So I'm going to read. And didn't he just say he'll deliver him out of the hand of the wicked? And that's just what Paul said too, didn't he? The wicked ain't going to have no power over you if you're walking in Yah. But the wicked going to have much power over you when sin is your desire. Look at verse 11. Psalm 97. He say, light is sown for the righteous and gladness for the upright in heart. He say, light sown for the righteous, right? Look at Matthew 13. Before we go to Amos 5. Matthew 13 and about 23. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that hear the word and understand it, which also bear fruit and bring forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Because he said light is sown for the righteous. Mashiach said he the light of the world. He was sown in the earth that the upright might rejoice. Ain't that what he said? You know, when his apostles seen him after he rose, they rejoiced. You know what I'm talking about? You supposed to look at that. If that light was sown for the righteous, you switch back and look at when you got sown in that water, you got sown in the grave, that was to give eternal life for you. That you might get up and rejoice and sing praises to his name. That you might walk according to that upright word. That's what we had to start considering. What really direction that we going in? So again, we're going to look at something we looked at last night. Go back to 1 Corinthians 15. And 34. It says, awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of Elohim. I speak this to your shame. But some man will say, how are the dead raised up, and with what body do they come? Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened except it die. And that which thou sow not that body that shall be, but bear grain, it may chance of wheat or some other grain. So when he said, like, telling you, you're not going to be able to be made alive unless you what? Die. Then he say, when you die, he say, maybe by chance that which was sown, you won't get the body that will be, but that it'll bear fruit then, what? Because that word got to be what fall off in your heart for it able to produce that fruit, to be able for you to be like him in his latter end to get that body. You know what I'm saying? When you went in that water and came up out that water, you did not come up with that body. You were basically being sown to be able to produce fruit later. Look at Amos 5:13. Make it 12. He said, for I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins. They afflict the just. They take a bribe. They turn aside the poor and negate from their right. Well, you already know that they afflicted the Mashiach because he the just one. You already know they took up that Judas took a bribe. You know what I'm saying? To handle the humble one. We sit back and look at that. We taking bribes from people. He say, I know your manifold transgression and your mighty sin. Mashiach say, I know your works, that they not right before Yah. Ain't that what he said? He said, you need to strengthen the things that are ready to die, lest I put out your candlestick. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at that. He said light was sown for the righteous. He said, keep on sinning. I'm going to put that light out. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to put it out. That'll be the end of it. That's serious right there. Therefore, the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it's an evil time. That's why Mashiach was quiet. Then he says, seek good and not evil, that ye may live, and so YAHUAH, the Elohim of hosts, shall be with you as ye have spoken. Hate the evil and love the good, establish judgment in the gate. It may be that YAHUAH, Elohim of hosts, will be gracious unto the remnant of yourself. You already told you, you're going to have to hate the evil, you're going to have to love the good. That's why Paul said, I would rather you be simple to that which is evil and wise to that which is good, because this is Sardis children, foolish children who have no understanding, who are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. That's why he say something that have not the knowledge of Elohim. I speak it to your shame. You ought to be ashamed. He said, my people are destroyed from lack of knowledge. But if you sit around there hearing the word and it ain't taking hold of you, that's because you ain't gave the more earnest heed. And if you ain't gave the more earnest heed, that's because you hadn't believed. Because faith come by hearing, and hearing come by the word of Elohim. He said, I believe, therefore I have spoken. The just live by their emunah. They firm is their conviction. There's no way I would go against Yah's word if I believe that. There's no way I could even allow somebody to convince me to sin. You know what I'm talking about? That's why he say, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. You know what I'm talking about? But you know what we end up trying to do? Make excuses for every rhyme and reason of every manner of behavior. The why it was cool for me to do it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it wasn't that, it was this. It wasn't that, it was this. But was you wrong though? Like Brother Sean said, you don't hate sin, you don't want the repercussion of committing sin. When you ought to just hate the sin. You are commanded to hate sin and hate evil. That's what we ought to do. That's how we ought to roll. But will we do it? Will we do it? Woo! Ooh, boy. Where we was at? Where we was at?
Psalm 97.
We good at Psalm 97.
1 Corinthians 15.
We good at 1 Corinthians 15. What that's just talking about is that resurrection, that bearing fruit. That you go in that grave, is you putting on basically, get me Revelation 16 and 15.
Naked.
Revelation 16 and 15. He said, behold, I come as a thief. Baruch is he that watch and keep his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. So you're supposed to have on a garment. Now we're going to look at something as it pertains to a garment. Exodus, or Shemut. (29 and 23). 29 and 23. And it says, and 1 loaf of bread and 1 cake of oil bread and 1 wafer out of the basket of unleavened bread that is before Yahuwah. Thou shalt put in all in the hands of Aaron and in the hands of his sons, and shalt wave them for a wave offering before Yahuwah. And sit back and look at it. Take, this is my body. Remember, the woman anointed him, right? So when he took and gave him that bread and break it and blessed it and gave it to him, is that not bread that's got oil on it? Is that not unleavened bread with oil on it? Don't you realize when you eat unleavened bread, you're saying that you're going to be without sin? You realize when you put out all that unleavened out your house, that's symbolizing you putting sin out your mortal body? He said, thou shalt receive them of their hands and burn them upon the altar for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor before Yahuwah. It is an offering made by fire unto Yah. Hold that. Go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1. He said a sweet savor, a good aroma, a nice scent. 5 and 1 Ephesians. Get your hand out that plug. Lizzie? No. No, Lizzie. Be ye therefore followers of Elohim as dear children, and walk in love as Mashiach have also have loved us, and given himself for an offering and a sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet smelling savor. The wave offering. Sweet smelling savor, that y'all might accept it. Remember, that goes back to what Isaac did with Jacob. He said, you smell like the land which Yahuwah had blessed. And then he gave him a blessing, sweet smelling savor. He said, but fornication and all uncleanliness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as become Kadeshim. It don't become a sanctified one to have these things named a part of them. If you're going to sit back and say that you love Yah and you're going to hate the evil so he can preserve your soul. The purpose of you being immersed is for this man to preserve your soul like he preserved his son's soul. Because you were willing to die to the world and to the flesh to do the will of Elohim. That's why he say, thy law is within my heart to do thy will, O my Elohim. So that means you go in the direction of not my will be done, but thy will be done. What y'all love, I love. What y'all hate, I hate. What y'all want, I want. What y'all do, I do. He said, you see me do great. He said, you marvel at these works, but greater works than these you will do. That's what he told you, right? He said, follow me. So do what I do. He didn't tell us do what I say. He told us do what I say and do what I do. He said, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. For this ye know that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man who is an idolater, have any inheritance in the kingdom of Mashiach and of Elohim. Let no man deceive you with vain words, because of these things come the wrath of Elohim upon the children of disobedience. Be ye not therefore partakers with them. This man is telling you, and what did he sit back and tell us not to do? Don't make no covenant with the Canaanites, with the Perizzites, with the Hivites, or the Amorites, because these things were named at them, and because of that, the wrath of Elohim fell on them. He said, I do this stuff on these people of the land because of their works. He said, be not like them, lest the land spew you out. You know what I'm talking about? That's what our law said. We look at that, we know the law, we can sit back and we can understand that. These people were dwelling in the land, polluting it. He said, I got to get him out of here. The wrath of Elohim fell on them. They were sons of disobedience. He told us what? Don't be partakers with them. And what do we turn around and do? Be partakers with them. New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, idolatry, whoremongering, fornication, whatever it could be. Lasciviousness. We are part of that. And then we want to come up with me. You know what the word part in the book say, rejoice not in iniquity. How can you be sad for losing something that would damn your soul? You know, a lot of people be sad when they got to give stuff up that's going to damn their soul. What you sad for? That means you love that sin more than you love your God. When it comes down to it, if you had to lose something that was going to send you to hell, why would you be sad about losing it? You ought to rejoice. That means y'all delivered you from certain death. But we can't see that because our desire for what we want is greater than what Yah's will is. That's dangerous. That's dangerous, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't think about stuff like that, man. That's dangerous, bro. People don't really realize what they put in. Man, look here, man. I ain't feel sad about giving up nothing I had to give up at all. If this was going to preserve my soul alive, it's got to be lost in. It's got to be lost in. I'll get that up. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to cause me to go to hell, I ain't finna be sad about nothing that's going to cause me to go to hell. I ain't going to be sad like this here, man. Y'all forbid, boy, if T would call me to go to hell and I had to lose her, I wouldn't be sad about that. That's better for me then. Vice versa, if I would cause her to go to hell and she had to lose me, it's better for her then. You know what I'm talking about? That's better for her then. I ain't going to sit back and be sad about it. Because then that don't make no sense. Straight up, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense to be sad about something that was going to take you to hell. That means you actually showing Yah with your heart that those things were more important to you than him. That you would rather lose him than to lose that. We don't look at it that way. And you know the word part is, ain't nobody going to tell us that. And when we hear that, we don't want to hear that. Because at the end of the day, if you sad about anything you got to lose for Yah, that means you would rather lose Yah than lose that. Boy, if Yah take something away from you that's going to damn your soul, boy, this will be some rejoicing in your heart. That's mercy on his behalf. Because you know what he could have did? Let you keep it. He could have let you keep it. And let you see what your end was going to be. We don't consider stuff like that, though. No, we don't. Come on back to Exodus 29. I ain't going to be all out. We got to hit that one there, though. That disturbs me. You know what I'm saying? Where we start at? Verse 25. We in 26. Thou shalt take the breast of the ram of Aaron's consecrations and wave it for a wave offering before YAHUAH, and it shall be thy part. And thou shalt sanctify the breast of the wave offering and the shoulder of the heave offering, which is waved, which is heaved up, and the ram of consecration, even that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his son. Listen what he takes. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons by statute forever from the children of Yasharal, for it is a heave offering. It shall be a heave offering for the children of Yasharal of the sacrifice of their peace offerings, even their heave offering unto YAHUAH. And Kadesh garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be anointed and to be consecrated in them. And that son that is priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days when he come into the tabernacle of the congregation to minister in the Kadesh place. Now we already know what you think this means when Aaron got to put these garments on, then he got to take them off. And they for his sons. What you would gather from that? What y'all will gather from that? Come over here to Exodus 28:1 while you think on it. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Yasharal, that they may minister unto me in the priest office, even Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. And thou shalt make Kadesh garments for Aaron thy brother, for thy esteem, for esteem and for beauty. Remember how we read last night about put on your beautiful garments? Did he not make a beautiful garment for this man when he got up? Because he told you, blessed if you watch and you can keep yours, right? Now you know these same garments that he talking about got to be given unto Aaron and his sons, right? So let's look at John chapter 20. Hold on. Numbers 20. Numbers 20 and 22. Before we hit that, Numbers 20 and 22. And the children of Yasharal, Leah, come on, Leah. And the children of Yasharal, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor. And YAHUAH spake unto Moses and Aaron in the mount, and Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Yasharal, because you rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up unto Mount Hor, and strip Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there. And Moses did as YAHUAH commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. Moses stripped Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son. Aaron died there in the top of the mount, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mount. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even the house of Yasharal. What office did Aaron have?
priesthood.
He was high priest, right? So he said Moses took Aaron up on a high place and took his garments, right? Then they take a Mashiach and take all his garments, split them up. And then after he took his garments, so what happened to Mashiach? He died, though. Then.
Yeah, they put him on that high place.
Had to put him on that high place, and he died there. And then the people went and mourned for him, right? But he took that garment and stripped it away to give it to his sons, right? So let's look at John 20 and 20. And when he had so said, hello? Hello? That's you too. We're in John 20 and 22. So when we sit back and we look at him taking off that garment and giving it to his sons, this is also symbolic of what we already looked at. Being crucified with Mashiach, right? Putting off the old man and the body of sin and putting on those garments. That's why we talked about that last night. If we're going to awake and arise to righteousness, we can no longer sin anymore. You know what I'm saying? See, Mashiach was very sad and sorrowful, before he died, right? Reason being because he was about to lose his life. Now he's about to lose his life and become sin. So he looked at it, he was more sorrowful for that what he was going to suffer, not for what he had to lose. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I just mentioned to y'all, anything, when we turn around and look at it, any situation with any righteous person in this book, they always lost something. When they sat back and they looked at what they lost, it was really what they were losing was actually going to hurt them more than it was going to help them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like Paul say, I speak to you because you're carnal right now and not spiritual. Because sometimes we look at things that we may have to give up and things we may have to lose, and we look at it through carnal eyes and we thinking, I don't want to lose that.
Because in the carnal eye, like Moses, he had a lot because he was like...
Yeah. You sit back, exactly. You sit back and look at it, since you mentioned Moses, you look at it like this here. Because he was a man, this is why he didn't speak to the rock. That's why he hid him. You know what I'm saying? That's why he did that. He didn't sit back and look at what he was going to lose in doing that. Even like this here, you give an example like this here, right? Moses didn't lead us in the land, right? Moses didn't lead us in the land because just like I said, the law came by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahushua HaMashiach, right? That's why Yahushua son of Nun had to lead him in. Because you know why Yahushua son of Nun got to go in? Because of his faith, because he believed. Because he journeyed the land and said we can overtake these giants. And he said Caleb and Yahushua son of Nun to get in. They had a different spirit with them. They had a different ruach with them. See, they trusted in me. They believed in me. That's grace and truth right there. Because Moses gave the law, right? But you couldn't get the land with that, though. It was the grace and truth. When this man turned around and said, I swear in my wrath you will not enter into here. This is what I really want to talk about this afternoon, but we obviously not going to touch that because I ain't going to try to go too long. But he said you got to go through much tribulation to enter into that kingdom. So when you go through tribulation, that means you take losses. That means whatever it's losses I done had to take. I just done told you about a loss I just took. You know what I'm saying? Only y'all can be able to grant that life. But if I got to lose that, I got to lose that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like we already looked at, our soul got to be preserved. We got to love Yah and hate evil. I say that's really the theme of what we talk about, like Brother Sean put it well. We got to look at, we ain't supposed to be scared of the repercussions or hate the repercussion. You supposed to hate sin completely. Hamashiach hated sin so much that he was willing to become sin, to take it away. So we look at that when we get immersed in this man's name, when we go in that grave, we go into that grave because I hate sin. I hate it. I detest it. I despise it. Anything that's not of Yah, I do not like. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you walk around and be like, I can't stand this faggot. Or this, that, then the third meaning. I don't commit sin. I don't believe in sin. I will not walk in sin. I will not deal with it. Because I love Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? That's the mind that a Mashiach had. That's why he was willing to suffer in the flesh to cease from sin, because he hated it. That's the mind we got to have. We'll read Hebrews 1:7 or 1:5 in a moment. Let me read this, John 20:20. He said, when he had so said, he showed unto them his hands and his side. Then were the disciples glad when they saw the master. Then said Yahushua to them again, peace be unto you. Even as my Father hath sent me, even so send I you. Whosoever sins, he said, when he had said this, he breathed on them and said, receive ye the Ruach HaKodesh. Think about that. Think about that. Think about it. Moses takes Aaron up on the high mount, right? Strips him of his garments and he dies there. Hamashiach goes up on the high mount. He stripped of his garments. He dies there. The people mourn for him, just like they mourn for Hamashiach after he passed, right? Because he asked them, what manner of communications are these that ye are saying? Only difference was it said 30 days there, right? They mourn for Hamashiach for how many days?
What verse 23?
Whoever sins that, basically an apostle would come up and say, man, retain your sins. You know what I'm talking about? Or they could walk up and be like, whoever sins you remit, but your sins will be, I'll show you what that means. James 5:17. See, a lot of times when I be telling y'all stuff, this is all I be trying to do. 5:19, my apologies. All I'm trying to do is get your soul saved. I ain't got no personal stake in all this other stuff when I see you doing something wrong. Or if I see you going wrong. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Because hellfire is hot. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no parts of it. You want parts of it? Who in here want parts of it? Anybody on the phone want parts of it? That means we had to check our behavior. I told y'all when we was at that beach, boy, it's real deal Holyfield now. It's real deal Holyfield now. If you're going, your body should be crucified with him. You should be dead and living under Elohim, just like a Mashiach is. See, he was put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Ruach. You supposed to be realized when you went in under that water, you was put to death in the flesh. When you came up, you supposed to be made alive by the Ruach, by the word. The flesh don't profit nothing. You know the number one thing I know personally, every one of us in this room know it, word, before the word or not. Anything that's movement of the flesh and not of the word, well, that's the main desire, and the first number one key thing is going to take you to hell. You ain't going to get no gain from it. You know what I'm saying? That means that's what I'm sitting back telling y'all. Now y'all got to start learning to be spiritually discerning. Because any and everything is not of Yah. You know what I'm talking about? You supposed to sit back and look at it. We done talked about this before. Having a just balance and a just way. You know what I'm talking about? You sit back and look at it, man. He told us he severed us among the nations that we should be his, right? That's why before we went and got immersed, didn't I stress that 2 Corinthians chapter 6, come out from among them and be ye separate, touch not the unclean thing? That's what you got to sit back and look at. We are not of this world. We are not of it. We got to walk like it and live like we're supposed to be lights to the world. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to, he said, he said, don't nobody put no candlestick under no bushel. Say they put it up there so it light up the whole house. You know what I'm saying? But you know what ends up happening? We get complacent. You know what I'm saying? We get complacent. And you know what? We fall from our first love. We don't have that same fire and passion that we had before. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all last night, when me and T broke up, I was pretty down about that. But boy, when I was laying down, I knew I wasn't going to be down with it for long. I said, that's the first time I ever been through something like that. Most of y'all probably done been through that in your life already. It just didn't happen to me till I was 35. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shoot. Man, all I hear is get your son to eat, you're going to need your strength. I said, man, I don't feel like eating. I had ate like 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? He like, get your son to eat, you're going to need your strength. Bounce back like a rubber band. You know what I'm talking about? Went in there and got immersed. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like a yard of string. That ain't gonna say no rubber band. Not about like a yard of string.
You know what I'm saying?
Just slowly but surely. You know
what I'm saying?
One instant. Yeah, slowly but surely.
Look here, man. That word came back strong, but I was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
You know what I'm saying? Came up out that water. I told you, boy, if you thought I went hard before, I'm going 100 times harder. I ain't cut no corner. I could care less about you getting mad, whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to hell. You want to go, arrivederci. Because I ain't going to keep warning you.
What?
Arrivederci. That means goodbye. I'm not finna keep warning y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was said to me once, somebody said, I let people crash and burn. Yeah, after I warn you. You know what I'm saying? After I warn you, I ain't finna keep talking. You know what? Because I did that for 2 years with a young lady from 2010 to almost by 2013. You know what I'm saying? Well, it was plenty of time. I'm like, well, this nigga, I gotta let this nigga go to hell. This nigga don't listen. I ain't finna be begging nobody to save yourself. You wanna go to hell, be my guest. And this ain't the first time y'all done heard me say that. I'm not finna keep telling you. I done told you, boy, the words say those who are of age are discerned to know between good and evil. If you can't sit back and realize, if you believe I'm a full age and I'm telling you something, that's evil, don't do it, and you do it anyway, you deserve whatever you get. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you this here because, boy, all of us got to be saved. This is my objective. Don't nothing else matter besides that. You know what I'm saying? Don't nothing else matter besides that. I can sit back and tell you, I can talk to T, I love T, but when her soul, if it's about her soul, I don't care nothing about no relationship me and her God. That's to the back burner. That means absolutely nothing compared to that. Absolutely nothing. I'm talking about absolutely nothing. Her soul salvation is more important than getting married. How you gonna weigh that out and say me wanting to be with her is greater than her being saved? How I'm gonna weigh that out that that's my sister, so her being my sister is greater than her being saved? That's my brother-in-law, that's my nieces. All that personal stuff get put to the side when it's your soul. All that get put to the side. That's more important. You know what I'm talking about? That is more important. Why would I want to sit back? Ezekiel, hold it, James. Let me read James 5:19, and we get Ezekiel 18:29. He say, brethren, if any do err from the truth and one convert him, let him know that he which convert the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death and shall hide a multitude of sin. Why you think I'm sitting here trying to turn you from doing what you're doing so you can cover your sin so you don't die? It ain't nothing else to it other than that. It's people who ain't with us no more, right? That I done sat down and told them, this is what's going to happen to you, this is what's going to happen to you, this is what's going to happen to you. Then they get mad at me for telling them, then the exact same thing that I said was going to happen to them, it happened. It happened. I'm trying to save you from the sin. I see it's coming. That's why I go back to what we started with. He said when he made that thunder and that earthquake, it was to prove you to see if you were going to sin or not. So his fear can be before your faith. Where is the fear of YAHUAH at? Where that respect at? That's what's got to be ingrained in our heart. That's what the son had. That's why he was heard and that he feared. That's what we got to have. Make that verse 23 in Ezekiel 18. Man, I love each and every last one of y'all, man. I just want you to do what's best for your soul. I ain't finna tell you nothing to hurt your soul. You ain't finna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you something, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The fact that y'all knows what he gonna do. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all knows if me and that woman would get back together. Y'all knows if we would. And I would have to be able to deal with it. I'd have to sit back and look at the woman that I profess to love and not be with her. Or if he willed in the future that she would be that we with another person. And I would have to look at that and see that. But guess what though? Her soul come before all that. If we was in the natural sense, I don't think I might be able to handle that. But since we dealing in the Ruach and dealing with the word, I put that stuff to the side. Her soul is more important than that. It's way more important. Because at the end of the day, my first reaching out to her was to hit her with the word. You know what I'm saying? That was the first intent. My intent wasn't to holler at her. That just started rolling that way. And even before I did, I asked permission. Because her soul is more important. Y'all's soul is more important. He said, I'm an unprofitable servant. I just do what my duty is to do. My duty is to make sure your soul is saved. My duty is to be able to assist you in that walk, in that journey. My duty is to be able to give you correction when it's needed. My duty is to be able to feed you the word that you laid up in your heart that you might be quickened by. That's my job. That's my duty. And I love to do it. I desire to do it. I desire to do it because it's pleasing to my power, not because it's pleasing to me. What glory or gain I'm getting? What gain have I got from doing this? What have I got? I'm still Pope. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no notoriety. Niggas know me all through Jacksonville, Florida for what we doing. You know they don't because there be more people in here. We definitely wouldn't be in here. You see me on a billboard or some television commercial, you hear my name somewhere. Yeah, boy, I heard that brother, he be preaching. Niggas on Facebook don't know me. Y'all interact with a lot of niggas. Niggas don't know me doing. You know what I'm talking about? And y'all know a lot of Hebrews. There's a lot of Hebrews don't know who I am. You know what I'm talking about? That if I came up talking the stuff I be talking, they be like, boy, I ain't never heard nothing like that before. The dudes don't know who I am. I ain't getting no gain whatsoever. I have not profited from what I'm doing other than saving my soul. And hopefully y'all willing, saving some of y'all. That's it. That's the only gain I get. Matter of fact, I'll read that to you in a second in the 3rd epistle of John. But let me read this, Ezekiel 18 and 23. He said, have I any pleasure at all that the wicked should die, saith YAHUAH Elohim, and that he should not return from his ways and live? What pleasure I'm going to get from watching you commit sin and die? What pleasure I'm going to get from that? Because you know it was told to me that nigga just thought that I just wanted to crash and burn as if I got some sick pleasure in they stupidity. No, nigga, before you crashed and burned, I had already told your monkey behind don't do that. Numerous times. But you ain't want to hear what I had to say. I ain't gonna sit there and watch a nigga get hit by a car, don't say, nigga, move. I'm gonna just sit there, boy, that car finna hit that nigga. That car finna hit that nigga. Wow, boy, you should have moved. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't do nothing like that, boy. I'm gonna tell you firsthand. Every one of y'all sitting in this room, and most of y'all know on their phone, boy, if I see something, boy, I'm gonna tell you first now. I'm gonna tell you a few times. Sometimes I might get on your last nerve because I'm going to tell you more times than it need to be told. But you know how many precepts I drop. You should already know I'm going to do that. Don't do that. Then boom, I'm going to come. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it because I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. How can I sit back and say I love you and I want something bad to happen to you? You know what I'm saying? Now I know on the flip side, like I was talking about last night, I say I love that woman. I treated her bad though. That's on me though. You know what I'm talking about? That's on me though. I take full responsibility for that. You know what I'm talking about? That don't mean I ain't love her, but I ain't sure enough. You know what I'm talking about? Now we sit back and look at it forfeit how I treated her, but when it came to her soul, well, I showed her that though. I may have not showed her that naturally, as I should have. You know what I'm talking about? But I showed her that spiritually though. I'm not finna let you crash though. I'm gonna tell you. I love you on that aspect there. I showed that there. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me, man. I don't come from, my people ain't like that all the time. I ain't seen nobody married and how that operates, so it kind of hindered me. Hello? I mean, that's just being real. Shalom. It's hard to know how to love somebody if you ain't never seen it. Take it where you want to take it. That's just being real. You ain't never seen it, it's going to be hard. Hey, that's what I'm saying. It is what it is. You live and you learn. You make mistakes, you hopefully learn from it and grow from it. That's all I'm telling you. You know what I'm talking about? God for what? I see niggas be posting that meme all the time, but it's the truth though. Say a lot of dudes don't know how to love no woman because they ain't see nobody love their mama. I done seen a lot of dudes that know how to love a woman real good because they grew up in a household watching that. I done seen some dudes pick the opposite of what they seen in their household too though. Now that I ain't never understood. Your mama this, that, there, and the third, and you go pick an old scallywag. I never understood that. You know what I'm saying? I never understood that. But I'm just being honest, man. Shoot, nigga ain't grow up seeing that, so there wasn't no natural inclination to do so. You could do it at times, but you wouldn't know how to do it consistently. You might get, like I said, I probably got, ain't no problem, I got complacent. That's how that happened. You know what I'm saying? You sitting back looking at, we're going to get married, we'll get through it. You know what I'm saying? We'll get through it. Next thing you know, you ain't thinking the person gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? Then when they leave, that's when reality hits you in the face like, oh man, they left. Not that you think, oh, they ain't gonna go nowhere, they can't get nobody. You just thinking like, you know, whatever it is, we gonna get through it. You know, we'll work it out. Things get better later. Then later never comes. That's what he said. Then later never comes. I'm thinking about Brian. Like this here, he talking about when he was talking to Crack Mom. He said, you know, let me give me $30, I'll pay you back another day. Later never comes. Now you saying I ain't trying to be funny, but in all seriousness though, because you think, you know, we got time to straighten that out and work that out. That's how we look at our soul though. We can sit back and play and commit sin and do this here, and we got time, and time never comes. Thanks for the brief. Thanks for the brief. He said, you know what else? He said, I could deal with all of that if you weren't such a bore. You know what I'm saying? Oh, for real though. At the end of the day, man, that's how I ended up in that situation. You sit back looking at, you got time to work that out straight, you know what I'm saying? But you never know when when your last day gonna come. You know what I'm saying? You sit back and look at it, you don't know when your last breath gonna be breathed. You can't live like that.